Hello everyone, and welcome back to Veil of Sanity, Episode 7, Part 1.
Who wants to recap for XP?
Me, since I assume we're doing on a cycle, so I wrote up what happens last time too. And also, since it's been 6 episodes, if you don't mind, I'll recap like kind of what we've done entirely and since the start. It's quite short, I already wrote it, so it'll be quick.
Whatever you want to do.
Shall be on. In the grim darkness of the far future, there's only war. Joking, not in the entire 4K lore. Okay, so the crew got together on Marius' ship in the Calixis sector and awaited astropath reply from the Inquisition. We discovered our astropath was crazy and scared of a red eye. After not getting a reply, we headed through the webway with Desarier, a Dark Eldar. Outside the webway, we arrived in a system in the midst of a Dark Eldar raid. We headed away to follow our quest to find a Xenos specimen, requested as payment for using the webway. We were blown massively off course by dangerous warp storms and barely survived. After voyaging into the centre of the system we had arrived at, we found an old archaeotech signal. The away crew searched the poisonous planet for the source of the signal, finding also the source of the acid in the atmosphere. Claudette saved Hayata's life in the wreck of the ship. 3 ancient boxes were recovered from the planet. Cornelius battled with the crazy spirits of one of the artifacts found inside, while the cloak, helmet and armour were added to our arsenal. Desarier went crazy from not torturing anyone and was put down by the Lord Captain. Our amazing 10 out of 10 So Kawaii navigator returned from her holidays to steer the ship through the warp to the Xenos specimen system. The crew began to starve, and Manny set up a body disposal system with our head chef, who took it upon himself to start murdering people so the crew can eat more. Inside the Xenos system, we saw a totally not Space Hulk and navigated through gravity riptides to a hot planet. We landed on a hot planet, and there Marius, Cornelius, and Claudette were taken away by Psyker Doges. Ionesi and Hayata returned to the ship after hearing it was under psychic assault. Marius, Cornelius, and Claudette had a spirit journey with the Doge, and Ionesi saved them from Chaos Space Marines. Hayata flew around. And then last session, the away crew returned to the ship and met up outside the astropath's bedroom. Cornelius, Ionesi, and Claudette were suffering from the effects of the corruption they had endured. Ionesi got to the astropath's quarter first and found Octavius trying to get into the choir, as well as a flood of blood. She entered the flood of blood room and dealt with the possessed corpse of Sony Ericsson. Claudette arrived just in time to see this and to be frozen in fear at the horror. The astropath energies meant Marius was struck with the urge to recite prayers and began doing so. Octavius wanted to blow up the doors to get to the rest of the choir who were assaulting the ship with psychic energy. Cornelius had a chat with the ship who wasn't having a good time, and he decided they would stop Octavius from using horrid things like explosives and open the door instead. After opening the door, Ionesi dramatically strode in and opened her warp eye, which was completely useless, and then Cornelius, Octavius and comrades bombarded the room with 1,000,000 grenades. So, not much stopping explosives there. Afterwards, Marius broke free from his ritual and headed off as the ship was in full mutiny of the filthy Xenos and filthy Psykers. Ionesi retired to her room. Octavius gets in a huff with Marius over his xenophilia and heads off. Marius sorted out the mutiny with a rousing speech over the intercom after sending guards all across the ship. Claudette retired to her room to make little bone figurines, and Marius went to his office to deal with the rest of the problems. Hayata and Cornelius went to the medbay, spoke to Dr. Mercy, totally giving away Marius' secret body snatching program. They also found out that some evil mastermind called the Eagle behind much of the issues on the ship. They returned to Marius' quarters where they discovered that our head chef is murdering people for Claudette. Da-da-da! It's me finished.
Okay, go ahead and take 100 XP.
Thank you.
So yeah, that's where we left off last time. So you guys are still in the Xenos system, and you just put down your little rebellion there. What do you guys want to do?
I would like to quickly and not role-playing, if it's not needed, to find something to eat.
Yeah, you can head on down to the processing plant with where your buddy has your bodies in cold storage.
And I hit up my friend Hyman for another torso. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
This time he has a large selection of bodies for you to choose from.
I guess I just curiously ask him, mutiny?
He gives a shrug.
I shrug as well, and I choose a body indeed.
Okay. Anybody else?
I want to call Jack to my office.
That's easy enough.
Jack, what the hell happened here? You've had time to speak to the rest of the officers. I need information. What's going on in this ship?
So he looks a little taken aback first when you're like, what the hell happened here? But then you elaborate on what you mean, and he seems to relax a little bit. Well, sir, it seems that there was a lot of, underlying hostility towards the fact that we're working with Xenos quite a bit here. I think a lot of the men are just uneasy about what's been happening, but it sort of all was pushed way past the limit of acceptability once the psychers started going out of control. Not many people like having psychic images implanted in their mind, so people started to panic, and it sort of spiraled down from there.
Myself included.
There is a lot of evidence suggesting that we may have a faction, a subversive faction within the ship. Now, it's not my place to say so, sir, but this faction seems to be heavily slanted towards, the ecclesiarchy. Many of the minor chapels and priests on the ship seem to be taken aback with the, cavalier attitude that you've taken towards the Xenos and, other things. I can't quite figure out where the leaks are coming from, though. We've kept most of the Xenos problems under wraps, and dealings with, whoever you're dealing with the Dark Eldar, should have only been known to the upper crew. I haven't yet to figure out who's leaking that information out, but it is clear that there is a leak.
I have a theory on that one. But I think the most important thing now is we set a course back to Imperial space. Out of character, we presumably would have a confessor on board, or someone in charge of the ecclesiarchy, wouldn't we? And the priests on board.
That's up to you. Would you just allow priests, or would you allow a like an archlictor, or maybe like a bishop on board?
We would have, and it's in our crew list, it hasn't been named yet, but we would have a ship's confessor. What rank in the ecclesiarchy they would be, I don't know. But we would, presumably we would have someone in charge, and the number of priests on board would be, I mean, it wouldn't just be allowing anybody on the ship, but they would be sanctioned by the ecclesiarchy. It wouldn't just be a rogue fanatic priest. It would be someone that's sanctioned, if that makes sense.
So the ranks go like this, top to bottom. Ecclesiarch, archcardinal, cardinal, archdeacon, deacon or dean, firebrands, drill abbot, confessor, and preacher. An archlictor would be sort of between confessor and deacon.
Yeah, we would have an archlictor on board then. That would be the ship's confessor.
Okay.
To keep them all under wraps.
I'll give you a little bit more information because you would know this. So a confessor, they're free-roaming zealots who use their evangelical platform to agitate the crowds of the imperial citizenry that turn up to hear them. And then a preacher, the lowest ranking member of the imperial clergy. They're just your defenders of the faith. They're your fathers and holy mothers and stuff. They're mainly having to do with putting sermons together and seeing people who are having like crises of faith and stuff like that. They're your frontline imperial clergy troopers. Think of it like that. They may or may not fight, but the faith is what they're fighting for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we would have priests like fathers and sisters, as you said, rather than like the evangelical zealots types. They would just be defenders of the faith, there to do sermons regularly to keep the men happy.
So you just have preachers. Do you still want a confessor, knowing that they're pretty zealous?
No.
I mean, you can have your position filled, the confessor of the ship, from within the preacher ranks, if you would.
Yes, I'd prefer that. I'd rather not have a zealot on board.
Sort of like they're all going to be zealots.
Oh yes, but there's degrees of zealotry.
Yeah.
We're going for the light zealot rather than full fat.
You probably have a missionary on board, and that would actually probably be a good point of contact to your ecclesiarchy pool on the ship. So a missionary, they're a special breed of imperial servant, and although they operate under the auspices of cardinals, they practice they're very autonomous, essentially, and they try to spread the imperial creed wherever they go.
A missionary would make sense to be on board. We have luxury crew quarters, so they're not necessarily a part of the ship's crew, but they are someone that I've allowed passage on the ship and would hold sway with the rest of the preachers.
Okay.
I'd like to meet with them, Jack. I think it would be good for the men to see that we have not abandoned the imperial creed. We have and we are following the emperor's will. Can you arrange that for me, please?
Of course, my lord.
Wonderful. And I'm sure you've got your own contacts in the ship, but do it quietly and see if you can find out some more information about this individual who's riling up the crew. I've heard that he goes by the name the Eagle, and I kind of share what I know about him with Jack.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can do about that, my lord.
Wonderful. I'll speak with the NSA. I need her to find a course back to Imperial space.
I will do that right away, my lord.
Wonderful. And I kind of go back to doing what I'm doing.
Okay. A little bit later, INSC, where are you on the... are you in your quarters?
I'm in my
you
quarters doing some research.
Okay, so you get a knock on your quarters door.
Yeah, I go ahead and open the door. A wonderful smile on my face.
I hate you all for Eddie the Eagle.
Yep.
There's Jack on the other side. He seems a little nervous about approaching you, but
think he might, when I open the door, be immediately startled at how agile I move and the pitch blackness of my eyes that have gone from green to all black since he last saw me.
Oh, wow.
He probably actually doesn't look you in the face. He largely is looking, down or to the side, but not directly at you. My lady navigator, the captain has declared that we are to set a course for Imperial space. He wants you to do this right away.
Oh, that's wonderful, Jack. I hope you're having a good day on this fine vessel we have. Ah, yes, no problem at all. I was actually going to head up to the captain's quarters to have a word with him anyway. So I'll do that, and then I'll head off and chart it.
Yes. Well, that's really all I had. So I'll be going now.
Everything going well with yourself, Jack? The air smells fresher in here.
He's moving away from you as he's saying this.
Ah, well, cheerio, Jack. I'll see you on the bridge. And then I'm going to head up to the captain's quarters.
Okay.
I voxed Hiata as well to let her know. But Hiata,
Okay. Yeah.
I've asked INSC to start plotting a route to the back to Imperial space. You may wish to get to the bridge and await her instruction.
Oh yeah, give me a minute. I'm with the medic right now.
No, of course. And I vox the same to Cornelius. We're going to be preparing for a warp jump back to Imperial space. Let me know if how the engines are doing, how the ship's doing.
So during just the downtime between the last session, I would have been doing a lot of kind of work with the ship, make sure it's okay. So would I have picked up on anything in the meantime?
In fact, you have nothing to do with the ship, but everything to do with the information you asked from
Mercy?
sorry, the information that was implanted in your mind about the surrounding stellar bodies.
All right.
I'm trying to figure out if I can reveal things only to you, but it doesn't look like I can.
Are you talking about a handout?
No,
I think it was
just
map.
on the map.
Yeah, so you drag his down the bottom, drag his name onto the map. So click his name at the bottom and drag onto. Now you've dragged everyone on there. Oh, if you're only talking about revealing here, you can only do that with dark vision. But you could drag the rest of us to the other map, and then drag Cornelius onto this map, and then reveal what you want him to see.
Okay, I just click his name and I drag him.
Yeah, drag his name into the thing. Into the map.
That's move me over.
Yep, and we're still on the other page.
Cool.
So you are on the map right now.
Yeah,
Cornelius.
I am indeed on the map.
We're on the Doge screen.
All right. Okay, that is your current location, Cornelius.
Yep.
And there's the information that you know. If you want to take a screenshot of it, you can.
Yeah, I shall do that. Tick. Just trying to think how best to do this. So I can't see the names, can I? I can just see some of them.
There are names attached, but it's not in your language, so they're sort of meaningless.
Right, okay. But I've got ideas of systems. Okay.
Now, I'm going to add some extra tags onto some of these systems, okay?
Okay.
Actually, I'll just whisper you the pertinent information.
All right.
What a wonderful ship we have, thinks Ionati. She's walking along corridors. Oh, smells so
withdrawn.
wonderful. Oh, but it's a beautiful morning, my dear Cornelius. The ship has not felt more beautiful ever before.
Yeah, we get like all those like idle animations from our characters, like Claudette just slishing and sloshing away at some body in some cellar, and the camera passes by some doors, and we see Cornelius like screaming into comms devices and people working, and Ayeta is doing like a putt-in with Dr. Mercy standing behind her on the med bay.
You made
her
that
hands.
joke already.
Yeah, I know, but you weren't there, right?
We made it last session too.
Yeah, that's why I picked it up.
Yeah, I
again.
thought it was good. I thought it was good, Philip.
Yeah.
I liked your reference.
Yeah. I'm trying
I'm
to create a picture here, guys.
I'm probably using my Almanac Astra Divinitas to plot or to help Ionasi plot the
Well, I'm
the
not.
way we're going.
I'm not there yet since I'm heading off to the captain. If you should box me, and then you can come too.
I'm boxing you and ask you where you are. So
Oh,
we can plot the way.
Hayeta, I haven't spoken to you in a while. It's wonderful to hear you. Why, I'm off to the captain's quarters before we can plot the way to Imperial space. Why don't you come along with me?
Oh sure. I wanted to bring my Almanac Astra Divinitas to help you with that, so I'm gonna bring it right now.
Oh, you're such a
Just fetch it.
thoughtful individual.
I know, right?
Doesn't the ship smell wonderful today?
It does.
Oh. Claudia, you need to keep doing, or Philip, you need to keep doing idle animations.
We see Cornelius like going over a computer and just saying some stuff to some random person, but it's actually the ship, or I don't know, his cloak and helmet, and whatever it was. So we see him pondering over some very important stuff that we cannot see because the camera is like pointed on his face.
And that doesn't sound any crazier, does it, when you say it's talking to his cloak, just like you do.
Yeah, I mean, we already established that about Cornelius. He's talking to the ship, he's talking to everything. Give him a fork and he will have a lovely day, I'm sure.
Marius is furiously trying to make sure that the doctor doesn't figure out his body snatching program. He's like going and editing, hacking all the notepad files. He's like, oh, entry from Marius 2016, or 41,750 or whatever it's. Quick, delete that.
You mean 2K16, right?
Yeah, 41K71. It doesn't really work.
Anyway, so after finishing her meal, Claudette's gonna make her way to Marius' quarters as well. So you might bump into her on your way.
That sounds good. Great, we can have a full chat.
Yeah.
You got all that, Cornelius?
I
2 secs.
do indeed, yes.
Okay.
What ones?
We can hear you, Alex.
Alex,
Did
we
you get
can
your
still hear you.
screenshot?
Yep, I do.
And when you want to bring him back to this map, you just drag his little symbol into the player's tag, and then he'll merge again. We are now on the space map.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't see what I saw.
Now, if you want to share that with everybody, you can. That's your call, but it's your information only for now.
Okay, well, I think we were just waiting to have the conversation with Morris, weren't we? So, with Alex being AFK, that kind of sucks. Yeah, let's just assume I meet up, I guess.
Oh! Cornelius, heading off to Marius's quarters too! The Lord
Oh.
Captain!
There you are, guys.
Claudette!
You guys are all so happy-go-lucky, and then Claudette, comes over from the corner, and you all get, oh, hey.
What, like a...
Sup, guys? How you doing?
Are you like the unpopular kid at school?
I'm the Xenos on the ship.
It doesn't. Yeah, so you guys notice, by the way, the INS is moving, especially you, Claudette, you would notice that our movements are incredibly agile and deft, almost unnaturally so, and our eyes
Kinda
are
like
pitch
you
black.
leveled up, you mean?
No, kind of like I got a mutation.
Oh, okay. Is it a,
Ooh.
visible, physical mutation? or-
There's unnatural agility, which is, you can see it in my movement, and then my eyes are no longer green. They're actually completely black. Black orbs in my face.
I'm pretty sure everybody would notice that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
But
definitely.
I'm saying you would notice the agile stuff more.
And on that note, you'd probably notice that Elias sounds about 20 kilograms heavier.
He sounds heavier.
Yeah, like he's a lot more... His footsteps resound louder.
Oh, you're not maglev in about anymore.
No, I can't do that all the time.
Oh, I see, okay.
It runs off my inertia coil, so that runs
Oh,
out.
Cornelius, you look like you had a second serving of that cake they served.
Whoa, I ate that!
Oh!
Right.
I have no need for food anymore. Let's just say that.
I wish I had it that easy.
Yes, of course.
Alex, are you back yet?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he's
said it was
now.
back.
I think I talked over him.
Okay, Marius, you hear a lot of people heading towards your door.
I lock it. Yes, I usher them in when I hear the knock on the door.
Lord Captain, wonderful to see you. How are you recovering after that rite of prayers?
The Emperor protects Sanity, as we all know.
She does indeed. He does indeed. Whoops! Oh, that's a bit heresy I just said there.
Marius executes Sanity.
Whoops. Lord Captain, I was thinking. I know it's been not too long afterwards, but I think we should have a discussion about what happened there on the planet when Hayata and I left you three. We don't quite know what went on.
I agree. That would be most pertinent.
And certainly I have information to tell you about what occurred on the ship without your guidance.
Okay. Well, the short version of what happened on the planet is there is an unknown terror assaulting the galaxy, and we're going to have to try and stop it.
Ah, is it Psychers?
It is not. Well, it kind of is. And presumably they will have Psychers. It's an unknown threat that has lain dormant for many years. Which is why we need to get back to Imperial space. I need to meet with with the Inquisitor.
And you're confident on the truth of this information?
It would be remiss if we didn't at least provide the information to the Inquisition.
If you would allow, I would like to check the minds of all who went there to see if the creatures have manipulated you, though you may not know. There's no danger involved in this process.
That won't be required, NSA.
That's what someone who got mind controlled would say.
I've had quite enough psychic influence.
There's no influence involved. This is merely a testing of the warp to see if there's been any unseen influence.
Rest assured, there has not been any influence. Now, you spoke of incidents on the ship while I was not here.
Yes. The three of you were gallivanting. I don't think gallivant. Well, the three of you were in a dialogue with those horrific monstrosities. There was a disturbance in the warp, and there was a group of individuals attempting to travel. Now, Lord Captain, I trust you trust everyone in this room.
Indeed I do.
And I'll
Just
see.
a quick pointer, who is in the room? Is anyone else? Just us.
It's just you guys.
And I will see
Yeah.
right.
All of you guys.
I mean,
Well,
Yeah.
I turned the radio on just in case the room's been bugged.
Yeah. outside of the door it just says player characters only.
Yeah.
Now I'll speak to all of you that this knowledge that I'm about to tell is even corruptible just to hear it. So if you would like to leave the room while I tell the Lord Captain, then I respect that decision, and I would urge you to take it.
You want to corrupt the Lord Captain?
No, the knowledge of what occurred can twist weaker minds in ways that I cannot foresee. This knowledge, you could call it forbidden.
Oh, you're gonna spew some forbidden law.
Okay, after no one leaves.
I don't make a single movement.
Somehow not surprised no one leaves.
I feel really uncomfortable, but I still stay because no one else is leaving.
I just put my bolt pistol on my desk.
Go on then. Boom.
There are rumours and stories of space marines twisted by the power of the warp and turned against Imperium. And it was these that I saw heading through the warp. Chaos, space marines, dun dun dun! Heading towards the planet with malicious intent, potentially. And I managed to stop them, and their bodies now infest the warp, dead and rotting.
The presence of these Astartes is troubling. But you fend them off?
Yes, I cut their warp. It's a very complicated process, but safe to say I slaughtered them all in the warp and fought off their horrific psychers. Though I was badly injured in the process, I have recovered.
Very well. Well, there's certainly some issues on board that need to be dealt with. I have Jack investigating them at the moment, as well as a few of my own contacts.
Also, I should mention there's something in the warp as well that potentially may be of benefit to stopping any What did you say it was? Waking terror that threatens the galaxy.
I don't pretend to understand the warp INSE, but the fact that our astropathic choir went wild would seem to suggest that.
Yes, I believe it was due to the chaos and forces, but from what I saw, this other thing was a beacon in the warp, a beacon of safety, and at least to me, it looks like it's a signpost for safety and possibly the path to defeating any unknown terrors that threaten the galaxy.
There are always terrors, INSE. It's our job to remain vigilant. As I said, I must speak with the Inquisition as soon as we are able. Are you and Hyatt able to...
The Inquisition.
Yes, about that I just look at the crew in the room.
Well, I mean.
Oh yeah, the crew as well.
Let's not talk around the crew in the room, okay?
I know this Inquisitor. We have had dealings with her before. She knows that we fly on the edge of sanctioned activity.
In my experience, it's rare for any of the Inquisition to be understanding, Lord Captain. Grumble, grumble.
The Inquisition do as they will, by the will of the Emperor. But this problem is far too great for us to not speak with them. So I wish you to plot a course back to Imperial space.
That'll be quite a jump. We're in uncharted territory.
Well, Cornelius, I believe you would be able to assist with that.
I'm sure that INSA has that covered with her navigation. At that point, I'd give kind of a stern look at Marius.
Very well, but the last thing I need is for us to be lost in uncharted territory with an unknown enemy and a crew that is not at in its best frame of mind.
If I may, how do you propose we enter Imperial space without forewarning?
Well, I hope we find the Inquisitor before someone else finds us, let's put it that way.
That seems awful risky, Lord Captain.
Yeah.
And what other suggestions would you have, Navigator?
Return to the other side of the warp gate and go through by normal measures.
I stand up and kind of slam my fist on the table. I will not make a bargain with another dark being.
Oh, that's how you got here. My apologies, Lord Captain. I did not know it was that monster. That makes sense, though. Since I was out of touch for a while.
Indeed you were. So perhaps you should follow my orders and stop being absent when required due to your own research.
I was suffering a great deal of fatigue, Lord Captain. If I had piloted the ship in the storm that Tom had told me about, I am not sure we would have survived.
The perils of the warp are always there. I thought you said you were competent at what you do.
Yes, confident, so I know my limits, Lord Captain. Hence why I was absent.
Are you fatigued now?
No.
Then go and plot the course. You're dismissed.
Yeah, I leave with INSE.
The Lord Captain is It's growing into his shoes, it seems.
I mean, it's Nessie, it's not on us to judge the Lord Captain's doings. I'm sure he's planned this way more than we can ever imagine. So about this journey we were gonna do it, I take out the book again. Okay. You want to plan the road, the route, the route?
There will be little planning to do, I'm afraid, if we're as chartless as it is. But sure, let us go see if we can look at a map of the Kronos. No, that's Jericho Reach.
Yeah.
And do so. Thank you for
Do you
your
have a map of the Jericho Reach?
No.
I have a what it is called. I have an Almanac Astra Divinitas, so although that wouldn't have the Jericho Reach, I guess that it has like a world card or a galaxy card or something like that, where we can at least.
Can you read me the description?
Oh, I can look it up if you give me like 5 minutes.
We also have a librarian vault, so it may be a case that we've got an ancient star chart that may not be up to date, but it would point us in the right direction.
You might, yeah.
Or we could just check in with the next petrol station or Space Hulk if they have any maps on the Jericho Reach, right?
Yeah, if you're looking for information, it's possible that a Space Hulk might have passive sensors running on one of its ships that has charted the various locations it's been to.
Well, Aeta, I'm thinking that we could either make a very, very risky and very, very long jump with Uncharted, or we could. I don't know if the captain would be up for looking in that conglomeration of orc vessels. One of them might have charted. After all, they travel the warp just like us. Would I know that? Probably not.
Would you know what?
That they travel through the warp.
That the Space Hulks travel through the warp?
That
I'm sorry, I
orc-
think I missed something.
Orc ships travel through the warp.
Ooh, yeah, if you want to know that, go ahead. That's fine.
Yeah, okay, that gives us a motivation to go there then.
To go where?
To the Space Hulk. Maybe Space Hulk. We don't know it's a Space Hulk, right?
You know that it's something.
Yeah. I'm gonna work out how risky this if we just did the jump would be, and then I guess I'll tell Marius whether he wants to risk it. So do some other stuff while I'm looking this up.
All right, so Cornelius, Marius, and Claudette, you're still in the room.
Cornelius.
Yeah, I made no move to leave.
I posted the thing.
That creature shared knowledge of the sector with you. Anything of use?
Worrying information, to say the least. To use an old proverb, we have coming out with the fire pan
Guys?
into the fire.
Did anybody just say anything? I
Test.
think I lost connection.
Can you hear us, Philip?
I can hear you guys now.
Okay.
You didn't really miss anything.
Okay, so did Alex and Scott talk?
Do I
Yes.
do that again?
He asked,
Okay.
Cornelius asked Marius, or Marius asked Cornelius if he had sorted through the information that he got from the
Medical thingy? Or was it something
From the
else?
the
Doge?
Tachuka.
Oh, from Teacher Killer, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is
And then Cornelius replied that what he did have was worrying, and he feels like they're in more danger now because of it.
any knowledge that will assist in the navigator at this jump would be much appreciated, Cornelius. I appreciate you. You have your secrets, and I do not tend to pry if you do not wish to share.
This is not so much a matter of cautiousness, but more worry. Nearly every system has one threat or another.
As expected.
If I may show you. I suppose I'd have like a picked device or something I could pull it up on to show him.
Absolutely.
What should I do about showing him? Shall I just file over or something?
You're just showing him the information
Yeah.
that you know?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just fix the map. Is there anything you wanted him to not know?
No, I'm trying to be open with him.
And you'll have to tell him the annotated information.
Yeah, I'll whisper that over.
Presumably, if only me and Scott can see this particular part of the map, then I can ping, can't I?
I'm sorry, say that again, Marius?
Only he will see the ping if I ping it, won't he?
Yeah, if we're the only ones on the map.
But you're not the only ones on the map.
Oh, okay.
Right, I've
I'm
I
not
can make
looking.
it that way. If you
I'm
want.
zooming all the way. I'm in the darkness.
I'm on the Doge map.
There, now you're the only two.
I've just messaged you on Discord with the details on there.
Haida, if you want to use the Astrae Divinatus, you can. I'm not saying it has much information to help you, but it will help you. You'll get the bonuses.
Yeah, I mean, I got that when I really didn't know anything about the game, so I don't know
That's
if
all
it
right.
even makes sense for me to have that.
Well, it's a Calixian faction that put it together, so it is possible that some navigators that have come into the Jericho region, back into the Calixian sector, have annotated a few parcels of information.
Yeah, I mean, me and Ionesi are probably just looking through it, or I'm looking through it while Ionesi plans, and I try to help her as much as I can.
Ionesi, what do you want to do?
So the chartless, that's -60 on the initial Signy Science roll, the translation, or is it on the Divine and Auguries roll? It's on the Divine and Auguries roll, right? Because I remembered you changed it, but I looked on your chart in the Warbrutes and I couldn't see.
So steering the vessel. When you get to steering the vessel, so what you'll do first is determine the distance, then you'll locate the Astronomicon, and then you'll enter the warp and steer the vessel. If you don't have charts, if you're uncharted, it is a -60 to navigation warp checks.
Okay.
And Essie, what's your flat bonus?
68.
Plus the 20 for the Runecaster.
Plus 20 for the Runecaster, plus 10 from Hiatus Navigation, plus 10 if I do my clan ritual beforehand,
Plus my command.
your command, and then if I do a Signy Science test, and I could use my Navigator foreshadowing power that I unlocked on that, and then that gives you, the Signy Science test gives plus 10 for each success you roll on it. So I think we could do it.
I will tell you, being upfront about it, depending on how far you want to go in a single jump, there may be additional negatives.
Okay, I thought the far was just the number of successes on the extended test, but that's not the case then.
We could do it in multiple jumps though as well.
There's no, from what I read of the lore, you'd always make a single jump, but maybe I'm wrong on that.
You can make a single jump, or you can make successive jumps. Just remember that if you want to travel huge distances, not only will it be difficult, but the conditions will change as you go. So science test that you do on one end of the Jericho Reach really has no impact on what you may find in the middle or on the other side of the Jericho Reach. It's like looking towards the horizon. You can only see so far.
That makes sense. Sure, I guess we'll do jumps as far as my science goes then. Though I don't think that's lore friendly.
Well, it'd be more, you need to pick how far you want to go, and then I'll tell you if you're taking
Okay.
negatives or not.
I don't. Are they done with the other map?
I don't know.
Are you okay, Alex? Do you want to come off that, or
I'm thinking at the moment with the information that you've given me.
I need to refresh roll 20, 1 sec.
it's basically me and Alex role playing the the conversation we're having in text instead?
Yeah, the private conversation, or yeah. Claudette, regardless of where we travel, it's likely to be dangerous for you for the short term.
I put my head slightly to the side and say, "How so?"
Not all Imperial factions are as welcoming to Xenos.
Oh,
As we
I
are.
know that. I don't see a threat from most of these people here.
There is, however, a risk, regardless of if we do make contact. There is a risk to your life.
How can we prevent such a risk?
Well, I wish to meet with the Inquisitor in order to get you fully sanctioned under Imperial law.
I won't wear a leash, if that's what you mean.
What? I couldn't understand your voice. Sorry.
I won't wear a leash.
I,
I won't
appre-
wear a leash.
I appreciate that, but we can certainly look to change your status in Imperial. There won't be a leash.
And then she looks at you, and it takes a while for a response, and she says, "Should I change my voice too?"
Jesus Christ!
I mean, yeah, I suppose Kroots are mimics. That makes sense. That is purely.
And then I look at you again, put my head to the other side, and you see like some veins popping on my forehead, and I make like gunfire noises, like some birds recreate like camera noises.
I mean, that is your decision. Whatever's easiest on your vocal cords, Claudette.
Well, I do have the feeling humans are terrified of my voice. They always flinch and twitch when they hear me.
I'd imagine that's partly visual as well, Claudette.
What do you mean?
You are
Wow!
you're an imposing figure.
I see.
And then she just, looks like she's pondering something. It's like just mumbling to herself in like silent bird noises.
I am. Biff would presumably, even though we don't have our astropath quiet, we're still capable of like short range communications. So we're in the same system as another ship.
Vox communication is still completely possible.
Cool. So with the ship's Vox, if we were in the same system as another Imperial ship, we would be able to communicate.
Yes, depending on the distances, there might be some delays, but yeah, you could totally communicate.
Okay. Yeah, that's one of my concerns. I don't want to fly blindly into another ship and have no way of chatting with them. The information you've given, Cornelius, is certainly cause for concern. Although I think making contact with the Imperium is of our utmost priority. And I kind of point towards one of the symbols on the pict that he's given me. Can you share this location with INSE to make it easier for her to jump?
You want to jump to the icon or to the nits?
The icon. Wait, I'm just rereading.
I'm gonna move it. I'm gonna whisper you.
How much information did Scott or did Cornelius give me about what he saw there?
That sounds like a conversation you need to have with Cornelius.
It does. Cornelius, did it look like they were winning? Or losing?
It's difficult to say. I suppose in the grand scheme of the galaxy, aren't we all losing?
How very pessimistic of you, Cornelius.
I'm simply a realist.
The symbol is where I'm thinking. And if we don't get anything there, then potentially on to the second location.
Oh yeah. Here, I'll just open the map up again, and you ping where you want to go.
I think you're gonna have to tell the pilot and the navigator about this at one point. Then,
Yeah.
But we haven't yet, so
Yeah, we will do. We're discussing what we deem is necessary.
It has been 5 minutes.
We're spending hours of paid work to just map a route to the Imperial space.
You left
Is that where
like
you wanna
5
go?
minutes ago.
Yes, but via the closer system. So 2 jumps.
You
Yes. So
talked
there
about
first.
real time, Philip, because that wasn't.
So 2 jumps to the closer system and then to the symbol on the map.
Okay, if that's what you want to do. I'll open those up so that everybody can see them.
Just those two, though.
That seems logical. Before we leave, Cornelius, can you check the scanning auguries and see if you can gather any information from from the Hulk that is floating in space?
Of course.
There may be something of value there that warrants us checking.
Well, I think until we get closer to the signal, I will be able to give you much information. Not deep scans, anyway.
Very well. If you find anything, then let me know. Otherwise, make sure the ship is happy with a jump to warp.
I'll make sure.
Okay, it's a little early, but I'm going to pull INSC. I'm going to pull everybody over to the star map. Okay, so you can see where the
Ooh.
rogue trader is, and the route that he wants you to take, I will paint. Can you see that?
No.
Yeah. What do you mean?
See it now.
Yes, there's two systems.
That's easy distance, I think, on one jump.
Yeah, so northwest, and so 2 jumps.
I think either of those we could do in a single jump.
Alex, space is 3-dimensional, not northwest.
It's rimward and spinward, or whatever it is.
Northwest
It's a two-
upwards.
It's a 2-dimensional map. We're going with northwest, northeast, south, and west.
Let's just go to the west. Or, let's go left.
Go west!
And left, please.
Rogue trader to B7.
Anyway, let's take a quick 10-minute break, and then we'll come back to it.
Okay, thank you guys very much for watching part 1, and we'll see you guys in part 2. Bye.
Bye.